Winner, winner, chicken dinner. 2022 Yamaha FX SVHO Limited. It shouldn't have been the Limited. It should have been a cruiser. It should have been the FX SVHO cruiser, but none of us got our hands on one. And we all felt unanimously that the improvements made, this was already a fan. In 2019, this layout, this machine knocked our socks off. All right. But it wasn't enough to win Watercraft of the Year. Needed to be tweaked. The Limited is basically an accessory package. Some coloration and an accessory package. Okay. But it did have the big dash, which all SVHOs do. And it had the sound system. Okay, it's optioned out with that. It's got all the innovations on there. And it kind of ended up being a little bit of an argument. The Limited was really the only one we can get our hands on. It just was, it's what we had our hands on. And all of us were like, dude, we got to give it to the FX. I'm like, have you been on a cruiser? No. Have you been on a standard? I said, I didn't take any pictures of it. I had it for 5 minutes. And it was modified. And they're like, yeah, okay, me too. Well, crap. So we, frankly, had to give a ski that we felt a lower trim. And I even say it in the results. We even say, we even say it's like, listen, you can get everything that makes this ski great on a lesser trim model. It's just that's the one we got our hands on. Because the Limited, when you sit there and you look at the Limited, you're like, okay, it comes with the drop-in cleats. Okay, for me, I'd want the stripped down FX SVHO. No sound, no stupid microphone. Give me the smaller dash. I don't even need the big dash, but they only give the small dash to the HOs, not the SVHOs. Okay. Limited package. Do I need the inflatable tube? No. Do I need the rope? No. Do I need the color matched cover? No. Do I need all the little accessory bags and the little cooler in the front pouch and all this kind of stuff that all comes with the Limited package? No, I don't want any of it. I want a stripped down hot rod that's a full size on that hull with a fiberglass hull with the sponsons and the ride plate. All right. I want a smooth seat so I can roll. I can put my knee into a tray and ride. I don't need the stupid bolsters. They don't do much for me anyway, besides shove me too far forward. No, thank you. I don't want it. All right. And just let me rock and roll on that, But the other guys were like, well, I like the cruiser because the cruiser has the cleats. I like it because it's got the big, but I like the sound system. Sound system was good. Okay. I like that. We got to give credit where credit is due for Connect's system. And the Connect system now has GPS. And the Connect system now lets you dictate an email or text message through a microphone while riding, which I think should be negative points personally. I think anyone who puts stuff like that on skis should get demerits. That it should be discouraged. And I think if I was a salesman, I would discourage people from buying it because I don't want those. I don't want distracted riders on the water. And that is antithetical to everything that I personally believe. But it's not my opinion here. It's what the judging came up to. We acknowledge the innovations on the ski. We acknowledge the changes made on it. We acknowledged, the Connect system, and now the GPS worked. You get the membership with Garmin, and you can have the Garmin mapping system. And the Garmin mapping system, when you have the chip in it, actually is very clear. It looks really good. It actually is a really nice interface. Guys, the FX is like the Goldilocks of supercharged runabouts. Okay. It's still lightweight. It's got great fuel mileage for a supercharged ski. It is comfortable. It is sporty. It is now a dryer ride. It's got tons of storage. It's got a glove box you can stick your freaking head in. All right. That's lit up with LED lights and a phone charger. And you can plug in a cigarette lighter and all this other crap. You can plug in all these devices into this stinking thing. It's got all these RAM mounts. You can attach your phone case, phone mount thing, or a camera, or a 360 camera on a pole, or all this other garbage. You can totally equip this stinking ski. For all you goofballs who want sound systems and you want to be able to, have your voice text read to you by Siri, you can do that. You call in sick from work on the lake and do that. You can do all these crazy things. You can map trails. They got geofencing. So if you're going to put your teenage kid on the ski, the geofence will obnoxiously alarm if he goes outside of it. Biggest takeaway or biggest hits on the 2022 FX. My biggest complaint about the FX is it's a painted hull. Should be gel coat. Stop using paint on the hulls. You can paint the deck, use gel coat on the hulls. Guys, kill two birds with one stone. Just move past the auto paint on the hulls. All right? Make some people happy. Number 2, the alarm goes off way too early, but you can't turn it off. I don't know who inside of Yamaha thought that was a good idea. There's no way it's the lawyers. All right? Because as long as you can push the button and it pauses it for 2 minutes or pauses it for 5 minutes, and then it'll chime up again after 5 minutes of writing, and you have to push it again. Okay, people are trying to go into the code and trying to find a way to turn that fuel alarm off. You can't, right? Now, to my understanding, you can't do it. Yeah, the biggest thing that took a hit out of them was the fuel alarm and then the paint on the hull. When we weighed it, it still beat out the trophy by 2 points. And that's a narrow margin, especially considering that we doubled the points totals. So had we not doubled the points totals, it'd be a tie between the trophy and the FX Limited. So I felt very comfortable giving the FX Limited the nod. I really do enjoy the hull. I really do enjoy the ski aesthetically, ergonomically. I think it's a handsome ski. I think it's better looking than the Cowie. I think it's better looking than all Sea-Doos. I think it's very attractive. It's got very good lines. The footwell drains and shallow footwells make it easy to wash and clean out. Storage is great. Front storage is massive. Glove box is huge. I use the wet storage on the back for ropes and usually ropes. Occasionally flip-flops if I don't want to throw them over the bars. But yeah, I was a fan of that hull design or that entire design since 2019. The changes made for 22 are what put it over the edge. So that's what really earned the FX. Totally left out something else. Is 2 of the judges were like, "But dude, if I was to buy this any supercharged runabout to leave it alone, it'd be the Cowie. But if I was to buy a supercharged runabout to modify, it's going to be FX." And I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. And it's like, dude, I modify my stuff. I'm a performance guy. I would go FX, Heartbeat, Reflash, basic mods. I'm going 82. And I'm still running pump gas. I'm still running 93. And I was like, that's fair. That is totally fair. Because that's a fast boat and it's really responsive to performance parts. Now, will we see it out of Cowie in the future? Maybe. Does the FX handle rough water better than the Ultra? No, but it's pretty damn close. All right. It's a step behind. And I'll tell you what, you have pretty equal riders on both skis. out in the ocean, it's going to be a matter of who's in the throttle harder who wins. It's not going to be a giveaway to the Cowie. It'll be a tight fight because that is a very good rough water haul.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out. This clip was taken from our weekly podcast that we record here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch the whole video, you can go to the Watercraft Journal's YouTube channel, go to playlists, and then click on live sessions. You're going to see it there. Otherwise, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. And again, thanks again for watching our videos, and we hope to see you soon.